Hi, this will be a very basic guide that should allow you to discover this game at your own pace. First, you remember that this is a game and you should have fun, so if you want to do some things and don't do others, then just do it. After downloading game and creating your account, you will be welcomed with this type of screen. By the way, I do recommend a standalone client instead of the Steam one because it patches much faster. Everything should looks mostly the same, except you won't have any created characters. Simply press a create button, and here you will have to choose a league in which you want to place your character. There will probably always be 3 choices here, and you should pick the one in the middle in my opinion. The league is a current patch, which is usually released every 3 or 4 months. People playing every new league have a new first start. A standard is a place where characters killed in hardcore go and characters at the end of the current league are migrated. At the moment of recording this video, the league is called Ancestor. If you're watching it later, there may be something else here. Examples of previous league names are Delirium Abyss, or maybe the next league Affliction. I do recommend picking the challenge link banner. Here you can also pick 2 flags. The first one is SSF, Solo Self-Found. So this is a flag that makes you unable to trade with other players. The other one is Ruthless. It makes gameplay a little differently. If you're just starting, I would say don't pick any of these flags, just pick Ancestor and click OK. Here you will have to pick a class. I have 7 classes here, but you will have 6. But how to pick one? The monstrosity that you see now is a PoE skill tree. Classes share the same skill tree but start in different places. The blue, red and green lines were drawn by me in order to try to categorize this a little bit. Depending on the investment in your character, every class can play every build, but some will be better or simply different at it. But as a beginner, I think that you should stay close to some class archetypes. I tried to highlight some main features of different places on the tree. So the area between the green lines, the place where nodes about things like dexterity, evasion, cold damage. Notes about this are more or less focused there. Don't really try to learn it, I just thought that this one may be helpful. From my own experience, I say that before playing the first time, you should already know more or less exactly what skill or maybe just what archetype, so let's say warrior, mage, or let's call it a nimble character you would like to play. But how to do this? I would say that there are ways of doing it. Either pick something that seems or looks cool, or pick something that is very good. Some builds will be beginner friendly, some will be good as a league starter, and some will require expensive gear. So the way it works now is that last few leagues, the patch notes were being released weeks before the league start, and then the YouTube starts training new builds for the next league. I would say that a safe way of picking your first or starter build is following the content creators. Like, I think that the best one will be Zizaran. He cooperates with many other content creators, and this should be a safe source for a beginner. The other content creator that I would recommend is a Pohx with his Righteous Fire build. But if you want to do this other way, you can visit this site, PoE Ninja, go into the builds tab. Here you have every class with its ascendancy. You can simply press a class that interests you, like for example a Juggernaut, which is a subclass of Marauder. And here you're able to see most used skills on this class, so that probably means that they are the best. When if you're more experienced, a good way to find how to play something or simply get some inspiration. Because we're already here, I will show you how we can follow a build. For example, I want to play a Juggernaut with the Bone Shatter skill as my main skill. I press these two, and now I can open. I will show this on not the only one, but I recommend checking a few positions here. I will check this almost on the moon player. Here I can see what items does he wear and what is his skill tree. By doing this, I can check what type of items my build playing with a specific skill should use. So for example, here I can see that this guy is using an axe. When I hover over, I can see that this is a Despot Axe class, and I can see what modifiers on the weapon are interesting for me. So this is also an answer to what items I should pick that are valuable. I already know what is this Bone Shatter skill, and I know that this is a physical skill, and I can see that on this axe, this player has increased physical damage and added physical damage. The next thing here is, as a beginner player, you probably want to follow, or maybe I should say that even you should follow other players' skill tree. To do this, you can either download the program called Path of Building, but if you're a little lazy like me, you can just visit either this site PoE Ninja or in the builds on the main PoE site, or usually in the description of videos of good content creators you can get something called a custom link. Section that interests us is here import code for Path of Building. We simply press copy here, and we can next open the site called PoE Planner. Here we can go into the import tab, and into the from Path of Building we paste this thing. We press import. Okay, we get an error because we need to pick a code here. We can now press import. Let's do not delete anything. Just press import here. And now when we go back to the passive tree, we see a skill point tree that this player is following. Now, this is a little bit more advanced stuff, so I do recommend following a video guides, especially of the recognized content creators, like I said. But how to use things like this, you can see the main cluster of nodes, for example, like this one, and this one being used. So let's simplify this a little bit. Let's say that you're already playing and your current tree looks like this. Now you remember that the tree that you want to follow had this node allocated. Let's say that it also had this node allocated. Depending on what you need, either life or let's say armor and life here, you can pick which path on the tree you should prioritize now. But like I said, this is more advanced stuff. As a beginner, just follow a fully written guide. So let's say that I want to follow the Pohx Kappa Righteous Fire build. I would say that this is probably the best guide there is. He got an entire site dedicated to this build with the frequently asked question, and he usually or maybe always plays this build. You can also watch his stream and play alongside. Here I can open his video guide and see what he recommends. But because I already know this and I can see that he plays a jack here, I know that I can, if I want to play the skill, I can simply pick a Marauder class in game and go with that. Now if you already think that this is complicated, I will have to disappoint you, because this is just the cream on the top. I would say that before playing you should download some additional tools, mainly being a filter for your items. I would say just visit this site called filterblade.xyz. Here on this slider, pick a semi-strict version, and if you want you can pick any of the styles here, whatever you fancy, and go into the save export, log in with your PoE account or continue without saving, and download and save this one into the documents, Mind Games, Path of Exile, call it whatever you want, give extension, filter and save. Or if you will save this on your account, you won't have to save it on your computer. The other thing to do, I would say, is download the Awakened PoE trait, follow instructions on the site. This will allow you to how much the dropped items are worth and help with trading. You may do this later, just know that something like this exists. The other one is the PoE wiki site. You can change pretty much most of the things, but use this blue with the blue icon, PoE wiki, not the fandom, because fandom is flooded with ads. For example, I want to change something here. I can type something like item. I can go in and read whatever I want. On the main PoE site, we can press this trade button here and go into the trading. Here you can easily look for the items based on your filter criteria, like this, and here you can easily whisper to other players to buy these things. I would say that now you can finally play the game. So let's say that I'm following Pohx Kappa Righteous Fire guide. I know that I have to pick a Marauder. Now I need to pick the coolest name that I can think of and simply go OK. The game loads in. What should I do? Go into the options. Here, go into the game tab, and here in the item filter, here you will have a none checked at the default. Now I showed you before how to, or maybe from where, take item filter. The blue text is the one that is saved on the site, and the white is the one that is saved in the documents. Here you can open a folder, and this is the documents folder that I talked previously. So pick the item filter that you've created on the filter late site. Also, if you somehow disable tutorials, I recommend following them because they're really great now. The other things I recommend is going into the UI, and here I recommend disabling screen shake and picking always show sockets, and I'll also always show full item descriptions. Personally, I also like show life and mana levels. After picking all of this, pick save, close, and I recommend here on the skills bar, on the mouse left button, I recommend having move only and putting your main skill on the right click or some keyboard button if you prefer. Now just follow the tutorials because they're really well written. Like I said, just follow the schemes and try to have fun. I will see you at the end of the first area. I would have forgotten, after picking your first skill, use this one instead of default attack. So do something like this. Okay, here we are at the end of the tutorial. You probably have some items to pick up here. Take everything what you have place for. I will talk about items in a second. Okay, here we are in the town. Other things that may not be mentioned in the tutorials is that on the tab key you will have your minimap shown. That will ease your navigation, and here with the arrows buttons you can move your map. This will be helpful with big maps. On pressing tab again, this one will center, and then on tab again it will close. And also whenever there are items on the ground, you can automatically highlight them with thing Z. They will always show. Without doubt, you have to hold Alt. Simply follow the quest now, but I recommend visiting your stash first. Here you will have only 4 tabs as a free player, and I do not recommend buying more unless you know that you will play this game and like this one. But still, you can know some tricks here. For example, if you right click on the tab, then you can set a field thing called affinity. What does it do? So now when I hold Ctrl and left click on the item in my inventory, it will automatically go into this tab. Remember, Ctrl and left click. But if I set on the second tab affinity with flask, and now going back here on the first tab, again Ctrl left click, the flask will automatically go into the second tab. I do recommend setting this one with something like, I would say, currency on the first tab. Okay, on the next tab, put every miscellaneous items. This game revolves around things called orbs that modifies other items. You don't have to look it up. So put everything weird into your second tab, maybe second and third, and into the fourth tab put items that are valuable. If you like this game and want to support the devs or simply play it, you can buy either points or supporter packs containing points and MTX. I would like to mention that this game is fully free to play. You don't have to worry about the pay to win. Okay, in my opinion, buying points and not buying packs, in my opinion, a waste of money, because you get the same number of points from only buying points, but you don't get the, let's call it, free MTX. At the beginning, if you don't want to spend a lot of money, or maybe you don't like any of the supporter packs. By the way, the supporter packs are time limited series, one per year and one per patch, so league. Just buy a First Blood starter pack. This is a pack that is always available, but you can buy it only once. I would say that this is a good value, and it will be able to provide you with the tabs that you're probably missing if you're liking this game. So you can basically pay like 20 bucks and don't worry, I think, anymore. Also remember there are cycling tab discounts. I think that this is usually around 1 week after the league start, and then I don't know, every month or something like this. This is in the constant intervals, you can wait for the sale. And with the points that we got from this pack in the game, you can press M, or you can go to the site. Here, go into the start tabs. I would say that you should, as you can see, there is a sale now. You should buy a currency stash tab as first, then one premium stash tab, then either upgrade to the premium stash tab or buy an extra premium stash tab. Premium tabs allows you to list items in game to sell to other players for the in-game currency. Then maybe wait a little bit, unless you want, until you know what you want to do, because I would say that you also need a map stash tab and a fragment stash tab, but this one is a little bit more than the 200 points that you get from the First starter pack. Let's check. Here we have 60, let's say upgrading, so this is 70. Map stash 190, fragment stash tab 245, and I would say that you're set for the game. So if you're really interested in buying, get a currency stash tab and one fragment tab, and then wait and see what do you need. And also then you will probably know what you need. Other things that I wanted to talk about are items. They are normal white items, magic blue items, rare yellow items, and unique orange items. I've pasted also some silver orbs being the currency in game. Every orb's description in game says what it does, but I made this simple graph to visualize it a little bit. So any blue or rare item that the orb of current is used on will turn normal. Orb of transmutation on normal item, it will become magic. If you use orb of alteration on magic item, you will reroll its modifiers. Magic items can have maximum of 2 modifiers on it. So if you roll and you get only one modifier, because this one is implicit of the item base. So if you get only one modifier, then you can use Orb of Augmentation to get another one. If you use an Orb of Alchemy on normal item, it doesn't work on the magic item, then it will become a rare item. And same as the Orb of Alteration for magic items, the is the Chaos Orb for the rare items. You cannot change from the magic or rare items into the unique ones, but there are some ways to changing normal to the unique items. Unique items sometimes have some kind of, as name suggests, unique modifier on it, but usually the rare item is your endgame goal. And you can also have a magic item that is better for you than a rare item, but this will be probably only during the campaign. Showing the things that I've just talked about, here I have this rustic sash item. This is magic. I will make it normal, so I use the Orb of Scoring. Other helpful thing is that when I do a shift and left mouse click, I will have the slider to divide items. So now I can either use the full stack on one stack by doing the right click on the item, and this one will become normal. Now I'll make it rare again, and it has two modifiers. So I can't use Orb of Augmentation because it will do nothing. As you can see on the chat, item has no space for more mods. But I can use Orb of Alteration, this one will change modifiers. Now I'll got one modifier. I can use the Orb of Augmentation, boom, two modifiers. When I hold Alt while hovering over item, I will get the description of modifiers. Here the important one is it either a prefix or suffix, its tier, and the end of the line, so attributes, damage, elemental attack, type of the modifier. Magic items can only have two modifiers, prefix and suffix, and rare items can have three of each type. Also the tiers, the lower the tier number, the better the range will be for you. Okay, next I want to make this one normal item again. Now a rare item, and reroll it. Items in the game usually drop unidentified, like this. To be able to wear it and identify it, you need to use a scroll of wisdom on item, and it will become like this. Three other useful orbs that are worth mentioning for the beginner are these three. I've seen many questions on the chat, on the in-game chat about this. So starting from right to left, here we have an item that have a one socket. The socket is a mechanic that you can place gems, so skills here. You should probably know basics of it if you followed game tutorial. If I want to change number of sockets in item up to maximum of 6, I have to use a jeweler orb. This one changes into the random number of sockets, and getting 6 of these is kind of hard. I would say that during the leveling you will mostly want to find items with more sockets, or buy it from vendor or other players. Other important thing here is that the maximum number of sockets of item is dependent on the minimum level of item. If you hover over item or holding Alt, you will see the level of item. These informations are also mentioned on the wiki. The next orb is chromatic orb. This one changes color of sockets to the other one. There are 4 color of sockets, but the chromatic orb can change it into the 3 of these, like blue, green, and red. And the next one is the orb of fusing. This one changes number of links between sockets. So here we've changed from 2 times 2 into the 5 link, so-called. Next thing in the game exists something like the system of the vendor recipes. These are listed on the PoE wiki as before. You can ignore it, but some of these are, I would say that you should follow at least the basic vendor recipes. So every vendor has its own shop, and there are different vendors in different towns. And let's compare these two ones. This is a normal one, and this is a magic one. This one have both of them have 3 sockets, but one have blue, green, and red socket. Now, when I go to the vendor and press sell item, when I sell this item, I get the part of the wisdom scroll. This is a standard for almost any item. To show it, I will buy many ones. Here, I sell ones, but I get either scroll of wisdom fragment or alteration shard fragment. But here, if I say the item with the 3 connected sockets, blue, red, and green, I will get a full chromatic orb, and this is basically a type of vendor recipe. The other thing that I want to mention is that some vendors have special loot. For example, Nessa in the first act, you can buy gems from her. You won't have it at the beginning, you will get it gradually here, because the gems are rare, so rewards from quests, and they can drop naturally from monsters. So check your vendors. Also, when you press H, you will get this window. You can check challenges here. Challenges give you a free NTX, and you have other helpful windows here. I mentioned before something called PoE trade macro. If you got it installed, you will have this here in your taskbar. You can use it by hovering over any item, and now press Ctrl Alt T. Here you have affixes that are currently on your weapon listed. You can pick any of these. Pick search, and it will automatically show the results from the PoE trade site. So this may be a way for you to check how much items are worth and whether or not they are worth keeping. There are also things called portal scrolls that create a portal to the town. You may not have enough of these during the campaign, but if you will exit to the character selection and click play, you will automatically teleport to town. The important thing about this is picking a waypoint in the area that you were before, so that you don't have to walk there again. Here I've compiled some of, in my opinion, most useful vendor recipes. You can check the complete list of this on the PoE wiki. So this is again how it works, what I've shown you. Here you have some orb recipes. I've shown you the one about chromatic orb. Vendor recipes can also give you items. So for example, I can trade a weapon with a specific belt and specific orb, and I will get a weapon with a specific modifier. The other important thing is I can trade 5 items into the one of the same type, and I also can upgrade some of the item base types. Like for example, here I can trade 3 small flasks from one of the bigger one. And also remember that you can use orbs on the flags, but flasks can be maximum or magic quality. So I think that this one will be it. I've tried to make it as short, as simple as I could. Also, if you don't understand something or want me to explain some concepts or mechanics, hit me up with a comment under this video. I do recommend started playing on the league start. The next league is starting on the 8th of December. Like I said, get yourself a build guide and follow it. And I will also recommend playing some Twitch stream in the background with your favorite streamer that hopefully doesn't go too fast, so that you can ask him any questions that are bothering you. and also a shameless plug here. I will also be playing on the 8th of December, so you can visit my stream and ask me questions there. I would say they go really slowly so you won't get lost. Okay, I think that will be it. I wish you best of energy in the game. Bye.